Yes.
It's justified to send a human woman to the gas chamber so you can have a f***ing bacon sandwich.
I think the question is death justified? Is killing
No,
animals
that's
justified?
not the question. Not even remotely.
It's not a yes or no answer, because
It is. Just say yes or no.
life is more complicated than yes or no.
Wade,
Blue.
I think it's very interesting when you dodge the question. Wait, before we proceed, are you wearing headphones?
No.
So see how easy that was for you to say no. Say yes or no.
Did
Yes or
wrong
no.
or right to the kid is a metaphysical question. Okay, bro.
What's your position on veganism?
I believe in that eating meat is not a sin, essentially, I guess, is a way of putting it.
Can you repeat that? Sorry. It's what?
I don't believe that eating meat
Mm-hmm.
itself is a sin.
Oh, it's a sin. Okay, well, I don't take things to be a sin. I just take them to be like wrong or right or neutral.
Well, when I say sin, I don't mean like religiously, just colloquially, or bad. You know?
Okay, okay, so it's synonymous with bad. Okay, cool. Okay, so you don't think eating animals is bad? Just to be clear, a vegan's not really making a claim about like eating the corpse of an animal. They're more making a claim about killing and exploiting that individual animal for the purpose of then eating their bodies. So just to be clear, because Joe just left and he might not have heard you, but the claim that Wade has made, just so you're in the loop, Joe, is that he doesn't take eating meat to be a sin, and he just means synonymously bad. So I'm just saying it's not the consuming of the corpse, like, you know, in a vacuum there's a corpse on the floor of a rabbit, you eat it. A vegan's not really making a claim that that's bad. They're saying the exploitation and the sending that animal to the slaughterhouse would be the bad thing. So just so we're clear that you don't take that, you know, bringing, say, like a pig into existence and then sending them to the slaughterhouse, you would say that's not bad, right?
I would say that the way that we look at animals as humanity at the moment is still very, what would the word be? Not very conscientiously. We tend to look at the world selfishly. So through the lens of what benefit can this animal bring to me in a selfish way. And I think it's only natural, because if you look at animals in general, they're only concerned with what they eat, what eats them, and what they want to have sex with. So the fact that humans do this is not too much of a surprise. But it does seem that we've risen out of the selfish nature to an extent where we started to empathize beyond ourselves and have a sense of beings beyond ourselves. And as such, I think maybe having animals in the house as pets, and I don't know what drives this this empathy, but we have come to realize that other living beings also have a sense of existence, and we know that our sense of existence can be good or it can be bad. And we know that a life lived in suffering is pointless. So taking that logic further, for us to torture animals is just as pointless.
So it's pointless. Okay.
So I believe it's wrong.
You believe it's wrong then? Sorry.
I believe it's wrong to cause the suffering of animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So suffering, do you know this is being recorded, by the way? Just
Yes,
to be clear. Yeah, okay. So torturing is bad. So okay, we understand that, but now we just need to get to like exploitation and sending them to like a slaughterhouse, right? Because, I mean, obviously, I would take it to be that the slaughterhouse is a place of torture. Some people will say it's not, though, like killing isn't torture, or they'd say exploitation isn't torture. So I just, if we're taking them to be different things from just torture, do you also regard exploiting an animal and sending an animal to a slaughterhouse to be a bad thing?
If you use the word torture, torture tends to imply the conscious want to cause harm for some benefit, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Generally used in, what do you call it, interrogation settings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think pain is inflicted. I don't know if I would necessarily use exactly that word. The thing is, it's
Wait,
difficult.
just a
I
quick
think.
question. If I had a dog and I started like kicking and punching the dog, what would you call that? What would the act be called for you? Not if it's not torture.
That would be torture, yeah.
But they're not being
Potentially.
interrogated,
Why?
so it doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily interrogation settings.
No, it's not restricted to interrogation settings necessarily, but it's with the intent to cause harm, you know.
Would the killing of an animal be intentional when you create meat from them? Is that an intent?
I think the death is intent, not necessarily the suffering itself, even though they go hand in hand.
I would contest that, because if I'm bringing an individual into existence with the purpose of using their bodies and then sending them to the slaughterhouse, I've brought them into a torturous existence. I knew exactly what was entailed by doing that, right?
When you say torturous existence, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm like, by the definition that you've given of torture, obviously without interrogation, but we understand interrogation doesn't need to be present. I am inflicting harm upon them knowingly, purposefully, because I know it's going to be harmful to them to bring them into the world, take them from their families, and then, you know, when they're young, take them to a slaughterhouse.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't agree with the way that we're raising animals at the moment, but I do not believe existence itself is torturous by nature, because else, you know, all the animals would have said, fuck this existence a few billion years ago. So I think existence on its base level is worthy of living.
That wasn't the claim wait, sorry, that wasn't the claim I made. I'm not saying existence itself is torturous. I'm saying it would be torturous of me to bring an individual into existence with the purpose of using them for my benefit, not theirs, and then sending them to the slaughterhouse. So I'm priming context in there.
Yeah, I wasn't saying, I was just clarifying my thoughts on it.
Okay.
But so to continue is, if we can raise our animals in a way that they are not what would, you know, living in a torturous existence, and when they mature to a certain age, and we then make use of their bodies for our own sustenance, you know, I'm not opposed to that.
Okay, so what system are you working by where you think it's wrong to torture them, but not to take their life, like, and just kill them? Like, are you against killing humans?
Yeah, of course I'm against killing humans mostly.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask what the morally significant difference is between humans and other animals that would justify, in your view, taking their lives and sending them to the slaughterhouse, when we wouldn't do that to a human, in your view, without it being wrong.
Well, you know, my rebuttal to that question, because I see what you're getting at, would also be like, how many more cows have gotten to live because we eat them? over the last 6,000 years.
Oh, okay. So just to be clear, we'll circle back to the morally significant difference. But then say, for example, I gave birth to however many like babies I could give birth to. Like say I could give birth to 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent them to the slaughterhouse and I said to you, but these babies got to live. They wouldn't have lived if I didn't bring them into the world to then send them to the
Mm-hmm.
slaughterhouse. Would you think that's bad?
Well, if we were like some alien, had some alien existence where we were all immortals and life had an infinite expiry date, that would make things different. But we're all part of the cycle of life, even if we don't kill each other.
Wait, why are you saying that? That had nothing to do with what I said at all.
It kind of does, because if you kill something that has like 60 years to live, when it's 20 years old, you're cutting 40 years off of its existence.
Oh, so say
if you take something.
So say, for example, if I killed an elderly woman and I knew she was going to die in like a year, that wouldn't be wrong in your view?
It would probably be wrong, but to me, elderly people understand that they are at the end of their life and that young people are at the start of their life. I think it's just a part of living that you come to realize the cycle of life.
I'm not asking about whether or not that like their mind states. I'm asking if you take the view that it's wrong to kill elderly people.
No, I don't feel it's right, but I would feel that if a robber walked up to a grandmother and her granddaughter and said, "I'm killing one of you, which one should I kill?" and the grandmother says, "Kill me, because I've lived a life and my granddaughter has just begun," I can understand that logic.
Yeah, but that's not the context that's being inserted into the conversation. Let's just remember how we got here. So you said, look, well, when it comes to these animals, like, yeah, you're killing them, but how many cows would have existed, wouldn't have existed if we didn't bring them into existence? So then I say, okay, so what if I gave birth to 8 babies and I killed them? And my retort was, well, they wouldn't have existed if I didn't give birth to them. So, sending them to the slaughterhouse is not a bad thing. And then you started talking about like aliens and in immortality. And then you said, oh, well, it's about lifespan. So I'm just asking you, not if an elderly person chooses, I'm asking, would it be wrong for me to kill an elderly person without their consent?
It would be wrong.
Okay.
However, I think we're talking about the age of the being lives that's ending. So I would say there's a difference between a young person or animal losing their life and an old one.
Yeah, but it's all wrong, isn't it? I'm not asking for the hierarchy. I'm not asking. Huh?
If you concede that all death is wrong, then existence must be a flop.
No. Let's be careful with our words. I'm not saying death is wrong. I'm saying killing is wrong.
To die, one must be killed by something, isn't it?
You can die of old age. You can just die in your sleep. Has anyone killed you if you've died in your sleep?
Yeah, old age can kill you.
Yeah, but wait. Is old age an agent killing you? Can they be held responsible for killing you like a human can?
So you essentially looking to increase responsibility on the planet for conscious agents to take more responsibility for the suffering they cause on the planet.
I'm asking you what the morally relevant difference is between humans and other animals that would justify sending them to the slaughterhouse. And so far you've talked about like how long their lifespan is, but we've, understood it to be that, okay, if I kill an elderly person who hasn't got long to live, that's still wrong in your view. I would assume it would still be wrong in your view if I killed a child who was told they were only due to a condition they have going to live to 10 years old. You would probably still think it's wrong if I kill them, right?
The thing is, you reducing the argument extremely to a very a niche thing.
Yes, and that's
where
allowed
I
to
feel
do
like,
when you're having a debate and we're talking through these things and we're saying, look, what is the trait or the factor that is saying this is okay to do? Then I'm just using the examples that do exist in the real world. By the way, I could use a possible world that isn't our world to still do that. That's what you do in a debate, and that's totally valid and really good to find out what your worldview is.
Well, I think life, when it started, it needed to turn very elementary particles like carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, all these different things into strings. And those strings we call RNA and DNA, and they eventually formed cells. And these things ate elements and made more complicated molecules as they went. And somewhere down the line, life got lazy and got tired of eating dust, and it started eating itself. So animals, plants, the whole cycle eats itself. Life tends to absorb material from other life because that material is already complicated. Life still takes from the base elements that are not complicated. It's just easier for life to absorb proteins and carbohydrates, all these different things from itself, instead of the dust or the external world.
Okay, wait.
Outside of
so
life.
What is the morally significant difference between humans and other animals that would justify sending them to the slaughterhouse, but not the human being?
What I'm trying to tell you is this cycle has been happening for billions of years. Do you understand my point?
Yeah, diseases have happened for billions of years. What's your point? Therefore, we should just let them happen?
A disease is a malfunction of a healthy body. To eat something and for it to nourish your body, I don't see that as a negative effect. So I don't know if those are directly comparable.
Yeah, it's the logic of it. It's analogous. You're saying, oh, we've done it for years. But let's actually, I'm entertaining a dodge of the question. What is the morally significant difference between humans and other animals that would justify sending the animals to the slaughterhouse, but not the human being? So I'm asking for the morally significant difference.
I don't really see a difference between the value of life of a human compared to an animal. A human probably has more potential to like do shit in the economy or whatever. Like, special needs people, they kind of like don't contribute to the economy, so a lot of people look down on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you have access to existence and you're experiencing life, you are blessed. And I think when that ends, it's a shame. But I also reckon with the fact that we are in a cycle where we do come in and out of existence, all of us. And I think that's something one must face, not necessarily consciously, but it does happen to you eventually. You are part of the cycle that comes and goes. And I feel one must have the maturity to be able to cope and deal with these kinds of realities.
Yeah, so obviously death is an inevitability of life, but killing an individual is not an inevitability. We don't have to kill individuals, right? I don't have to go up to you and slit your throat and say, oh, that's the cycle of life, do I?
You don't have to, but I think jungle rules, the place where humanity came out of, before we called ourselves humans or whatever, I think was very much kill or be killed, a very selfish place. I think we've done a lot of work to kind of rise out of it. But if you look around today, we're still very much monkeys,
Okay,
so we're still dealing with those jungle rules within our bodies,
Well, just to be clear, so, we're talking about what happens in nature sort of thing. Is it then justified to do what happens out in nature because it happens there?
I'm just saying power is like this. If I have it, I can use it. And it doesn't matter what God thinks about it.
Oh, so you appeal to a might makes right argument?
No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's good.
Okay.
I'm just saying it is.
So just to be clear, so killing elderly people you think is a bad thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but out in nature, like the elderly of a population within animals may be killed so that they aren't a resource drain. That happens out in nature. Is that then morally fine, or in your view, because it happens in nature?
So, are you saying, for example, some animal was introduced into a farm and it's busy overprocreating and destroying the farm? Is this what you're saying?
Not even remotely. PM, do you want to say something? Because I don't, am I not conveying my sentences clearly?
Yeah, it just seems the way if you can address like things directly, it's fine to ask like leaning questions, because if you don't understand something, that's fine. But it actually like feels like you want to talk about more philosophy, and we are here talking about like morality. So when we ask a question, when VG asks a question, it's gonna be about whether something is right or wrong to do, not something that is or isn't right. So it's an is-ought fallacy that is being like perpetuated here, and
Yeah, I'm not here to hear descriptive claims about what happens. I'm only interested if you think, oh, it happens in nature, therefore it's justified. I'm asking you, what PM said.
The thing is, any farmer knows that there's two sides of destruction. Your population can diminish and they get destroyed, or they can overpopulate and then they also get destroyed.
Sorry,
so
what does that have to?
farmer,
What does this have to do with the question that Vegan Gaze asked?
I think the question is death justified? Is killing
No,
animals
that's
justified?
not the question. Not even remotely. Vegan Gaze, can you repeat, please?
They've actually successfully like made me lose my track. I don't actually remember what I even asked. I said
the question.
It was sorry.
Yeah, the question was, what is the morally relevant difference between non-human animals and humans?
It was actually like, do you think it's right that elderly people are then killed because it happens out in nature? But you're so right, Joe. The actual question beforehand was, what is the morally significant difference between humans and other animals that, in your view, justifies?
Like, I think I said that.
You said there's no morally significant difference.
I don't see a moral difference between the two. And then you said, power. What about if someone just implements power?
You said that.
And then I said, I realize if you have the power, you can do, quote unquote, what you want. It doesn't necessarily make it right. Be naive.
Sorry, Wade. I wasn't talking about power. You were talking about power. Just to be clear. So we've then, you're right. We've established that you believe there's no morally significant difference between humans and other animals. So what you're saying then is when you go to the supermarket and you buy the flesh of animals, you are doing the morally equivalent thing that in another possible world, a human is going to the supermarket and they are buying human baby meat. You are doing the morally same thing, basically. Morally equivalent, sorry.
I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch. Like, that's the same species. Like, what species eats its own species?
Yeah,
like,
I'm not asking. I mean, loads of species engage in cannibalism. Even humans have been known to engage in cannibalism. So that's not the question of whether or not they are. You said, and this is why we've got here, you said you don't see a morally significant difference between humans and other animals. So I said, do you recognize that it would be a morally equivalent action to go to the store and buy human baby meat? It'd be morally equivalent. Do you acknowledge that?
Well, kinda not. Like, because, like I'm saying, it's the same species, which makes things a bit weird. But I understand that you're saying, like, if animals and humans are morally equivalent,
in your view,
then eating their meats should be equivalent. I think it would be if cannibalism didn't have such a big taboo about it.
Sorry, if I can interject again.
Please.
So let's say we take food out of the equation, and let's just say that the humans were killed for us to wear their skin or something like that, right? The way we wear the skin of animals. If, according to you, there is no morally significant difference between humans and animals, it would be totally fine for you to go to a store, like a clothing store, and just buy skin of a human being who was killed for it, correct?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So are you vegan henceforth, or are you going to carry on engaging in an action that you believe is the equivalent to buying human skin for a coat?
The thing is, we're very symbolic people. So if people start wearing other people's skin, it might have symbolic consequences.
Yeah, wearing animal skin has symbolic consequences as well, right? So if according to you both are morally relevant, then wearing animal skin is fucking atrocious.
It doesn't matter the consequence or the symbolic, nature of it. You believe it to be wrong.
No, I guess it's how you interpret the symbolism, right?
No, you interpret it to be wrong, don't you?
Which one?
Both.
The animal or the human?
Well, both, because you've said they're morally equivalent.
Well, human skin would be weird to me. Animal skin, I don't really see a problem with.
But you said they're morally equivalent. Yeah, sorry,
Is the morally relevant difference weird? Is that what morally justifies an action? Is if it's weird or not? That's what I just heard.
I guess personal morality, like what I would do. I tend to feel how I feel about the moment. I don't just run around like a logical computer full of axioms.
So if I find a human who does not think it's weird to kill humans and wear their skin, is that morally justified? Because they don't find it weird?
Sorry, did you ask if you find a human that finds it acceptable to wear human skin? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You said weird was your reason for finding it objectionable. So just take, for instance, me, hypothetically, if I found it not weird to wear human skin, would that be a moral justification to then kill humans and wear their skin? Because I don't personally find it weird. Is that a moral justification in your view?
Well, it depends.
You can just say yes or no. Yeah, just say yes or no.
It's not a yes or no answer, because
it is.
what if it was like, what if it was like your father and you and your father grew up together and this is part of your culture? When the elder dies,
I don't give a shit, so I'm gonna kill him.
When the elder dies, the skin gets used by the next generation. If there's a culture like that, that's
acceptable. Adding all this context.
That's not my question. Bro, just pause real quick. That's not my question. Here's my hypothetical. I go outside, I find a human, I murder them, and I wear their skin. And I don't find that action weird. Is that a moral justification to do said action? Yes or no?
No.
All right. So saying something is weird or not is not a moral justification?
The thing is, like, you have external laws that are subjects running around, right? So you can have this perfect moral external law, but it will always come down to the subject's choice. So what I feel in the moment is right or wrong, I will do, and the rest of us as well. So it does matter what the subject feels is weird or not weird.
So if you wake up tomorrow and your feeling tomorrow morning is that it's okay to like grape a kid, is it then morally justified to do that because you felt it at the moment?
The thing is, a human is built up in layers. So if you
it's a yes
give
or no
into
question,
more
bro. Just say yes or no.
life is more complicated than yes or no.
Wade,
Bro.
I think it's very interesting when you dodge the question. So just answer yes or no.
I'm not dodging the question.
You are. It's a yes or no question, and you're not providing it. So just provide the yes or no, even if then the context follows. Just say yes or no.
It's really easy for me. If you ask me if I wake up tomorrow and I have the feeling that it's okay to sexually abuse a child, is that morally justified? I would just say no. I would say no. Can you say yes or no?
You would appeal to what? I guess it won't be the Bible. What would you appeal to?
No, yes or no.
Like this doesn't feel like a conversation if I'm just restricted to yes and no answers.
It's a debate.
But okay.
Yeah, it's a debate, and you're being asked a yes or no question.
Okay, even debate, but whatever. Okay, send me through your
Wait.
mind.
Wait. Hang on. Wait.
Dude, I have conversations every.
Wait. Hang on a second. Wait, I need to ask. Wait, before we proceed, are you wearing headphones?
No.
So see how easy that was for you to say no. Say yes or no.
Yeah, but that's a
yes or no
fact.
question. It's a yes or no question.
Like a more metaphysical question. Like these things get more intricate, and to be restricted to yes or no.
Is it wrong or right to rape a kid is a metaphysical question? Okay, bro.
Yeah, wait, it's like really, really weird that you can't answer the question. Is there like, if you wake up tomorrow and feel it's okay to grape a kid, then it's okay to grape a kid. It's really weird that it takes you so much to go through just to say, no, graping a kid is wrong.
And you so quickly said you were wearing headphones. You could say yes or no to wearing headphones, even though that's, are you really wearing them? Like, are you really here? Are we listening to you? What is a headphone? Are they actually your earphones? See how, like, it could be a bit more of a complicated question. What's that, Wade?
I'm not saying go full Jordan Peterson, but still, just let me add some sentences.
Yeah, you can do that afterwards, but very easily you were able to say no. So Joe's going to say the question one more time, and we're just going to see if you're being a dishonest actor or not. So Joe, could you say the question and then?
Before we do that, Elle, can you ask me a question real quick? Can you ask me if I'm wearing headphones or not?
Yeah, are you wearing headphones?
It's a very interesting question, whether or not headphones really even metaphysically exist, because humans for thousands of years didn't wear headphones, and we've been really posturing, back and forth and postulating different ideas philosophically of whether or not we can hear things, or is this even reality right now?
Yeah, so actually, that was very relevant. Yeah, that was very relevant. So thank you. I can see why that yes or no question needed to be answered with a line of waffling. So thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, so the question, Wade, again was, if you woke up tomorrow, hypothetically, and you had like this revelatory dream from an angel, and it said, go grape this child, and that was your intuition tomorrow morning, would it then be morally justified to do that action? Yes or no?
No.
All right, so your previous statement was, we do things day to day based on intuitions, and that's what we do. So it seems like intuition that people have at a certain time is not a moral justification. Do you agree with that?
If you have a certain intuition at a time, it can be morally unjustified.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what that's all I was getting at. Is the first thing you said was it was weird, and we agreed that something being weird or not is not a moral justification. And the second thing you said was, if you have an intuition at a certain time, that's what people do. And I asked if that's a moral justification, and now you've also agreed that that is a moral justification, whether or not people have an intuition of whether or not something is right or wrong to do. So we've gotten past those two things. Thank you.
So like on that subject, dude, like as a man, and I wonder if you could attest to this as well, but when you grow up and you become a teenager and the hormones start flowing, you start seeing women through a different lens, or there's a lens that comes over the lens that was already there that starts making you notice how attractive they are, and you start
And
having
men too,
thoughts
by the way.
about
I'm also attracted to women, so I'm gonna come in on this conversation.
but my point is, if you just look through that lens of lustfulness, you might miss what's beneath the layers. So you might start racking up women as notches on a belt, or do those typical misogynist things. And you might realize later the damage that you've caused because you were kind of blind to what was behind these thoughts of this way of thinking. So I believe morality is something we grow through. You know, your intuitions aren't always right, but if you pay attention and are willing to learn, you might start having better intuitions over time.
Yeah, so this sounds like a really good place to say what would prevent you from going vegan right now. You were growing up thinking that it's okay to exploit and slaughter animals and to pay for those unnecessary products. But now maybe you know better, since you know there is no morally relevant difference between human beings and animals that make it okay to exploit and slaughter animals, right? And you beat all the bullets on it being not okay to do this to human beings. So, what would be preventing you from going vegan today?
My worldview, the way that I see life.
Well, it just seems to me that the way you see life is that it's not okay to exploit and slaughter human beings for unnecessary products like leather and food. And you don't see a morally relevant difference between humans and animals. So it just seems to me that your worldview dictates that you go vegan right now. That's why I'm asking.
I feel like all of life is of one body, and the body shares itself.
Oh,
So
that's
I
cute.
think
Is it okay for me to kill you right now? If all life is one body, is it okay for me to kill you, since you seem to want to pay for exploitation and slaughter of animal bodies while recognizing that it's not morally okay to do so? If all life is one body, right, that means your body is mine to do whatever I please with, correct?
yes, but your body is also life's to do whatever it pleases with. So you can kill
So,
me, and you
does
can
that
kill
justify
as
rape?
many people as you want, and you can kill as many animals as you want. But one day, you will also experience that privilege.
Excuse me, does that justify rape? Yeah.
I don't know. We went from killing to rape. I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, both happen for meat to arrive on your plate, right? But the point was, oh, you just live a life, and one day you just start recognizing shit, right? So my question is, why aren't you vegan starting today?
Well, I'm trying to explain it to you. I don't know if you know, it's not something that is very easy to explain necessarily.
Wait, it seems like you changed your mind twice so far in this conversation. You changed your mind about weird being a justification, and then you also changed your mind about intuition being a justification. And now it sounds like the next one is that all the world is one life. Is that your claim? Or one body? Is that what you said? All the world is one body?
Life consumes itself. So if you look at like your cells make up your body, if you zoom out, all the bodies of life make up the organism we call life.
Can I just
so
interject?
all the bodies of life make up the organism that we call life. So therefore,
we don't
we
tend
can
to call it
exploit
an organism.
animals.
Yeah, can I just I'll ask a question, Wade. So everyone who's in prison for killing someone, they've been found to murder individuals, they've found to violate their autonomy in some way. Are you saying they
Mhm.
actually did nothing wrong and should be released right now because life is all one body?
No, I'm not saying killing willy-nilly is good or fine or a virtuous thing. I'm just, earlier we said power is power, and if you have the power to kill, who's going to stop you?
I'm not. No.
And that's why I made the
Wait.
point to.
We're talking about what you think is right. I'm not talking about power. I'm not talking about what people can do. So in your view, so right now you are saying it's not wrong. So this is what I'm interpreting. It's not wrong to send a pig to a gas chamber so I can eat them for a bacon sandwich because we are all one body. Is this correct?
I feel like you're adding a bit to my words here.
Well,
Like, I think you're adding a bit to what I said.
Replicate.
I said I'm fine.
Wait, replicate the sentence and just change the things I said with things you actually believe.
Sorry, could you just what's the essence of your question again?
So
my apologies.
So I'll give you a sentence that I've interpreted. You just correct it, and it's your view, okay? I am Wade. I believe it's justified to send pigs to be killed so that I can have a bacon sandwich because we are of one body, and this is the circle of life. Can you now say it back to me, but remove any words that you don't ascribe to?
Yeah, that sounded better than the last one.
So you ascribe to that view?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think it's justified to kill pigs so you can have a bacon sandwich. Okay, so Joe, then continue.
Yeah. So if you were to like put this into a logical format, you would say, for all things, it is the case that if all the beings are of one body, it is then justifiable to gas beings within that realm to death for bacon sandwiches. Is that your view?
Well, life to me is not just bread alone.
No, we're just trying to like figure out your view here. Is that your view, or did I get that right?
But it feels like this question is rotating around purely food, where life is obviously much more complicated and nuanced. So not all beings.
It's a debate on veganism.
Yeah, but we've also VPM. They literally talked about skinning an individual for clothing, so that's not even true, Wade. But we're just talking about food right now in this moment. But the thing is, right? The reason I talked about prisoners, okay, is just to be clear, you have said there's no morally significant difference between humans and pigs, for example. So then if you're going to say this individual, it's justified to send them to a gas chamber to kill them so that I can have a sandwich out of their body. And your justification is because we are of one body. You could then say, it is justified that I murdered that man and used his body for a moment of my ego or whatever someone does when they murder someone because we are of one body. That is entirely analogous. And you would sign off on that on your current worldview. Now, the question is, would you like to stick to that worldview, or would you like to do something that's much easier and go vegan right now?
I was with you, like I feel like 90% of the way there, but
Wait,
I
can
do
you
believe
open do you have the side chat? Can you look at that?
Sure.
Yeah, so
I believe there's more and less moral ways of going about things. So reducing the argument to purely to kill or not to kill, that's the question. Feels a bit
Okay,
reductive.
Let's be clear. So I've got this woman, I'm hungry, and I crave a human bacon sandwich, so I kill her and eat her for a sandwich. Is that right? Because we are all of one body.
Sorry?
If I'm hungry and I want a bacon sandwich, but I crave human bacon, Is it justified in your view to kill that woman, the human woman, and the justification being because we are of one body? Is that justified in your view?
No.
So that's a contradiction.
My worldview,
Yeah, that's a contradiction.
I try and overcome the flesh. So the flesh in the sense of the need for hunger, the need for attention, the need for sex. You know, all these things that the Bible thumpers make the New Age people angry about, where they're like, let me just be liberal and fuck who I want, eat what I want, do what I want. You can't stop me if you want to. You know what I mean?
Okay, so just to be clear, it's not justified to make the human woman bacon sandwich, but it is justified to have the pig bacon sandwich.
What I'm saying is one should live more high, a moral high.
Wait, no,
you know,
wait,
you should live.
Wait, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you if those two things are justified, if one's justified, and the other's not, or if they're neither are justified. What is the answer?
The thing is, it's justified in some cases. I'm trying to tease out when I feel it's justified and when I don't feel
I'm giving the context because you've made it clear that even though you see no morally significant difference between humans and pigs, for example, you do think it's justified to send them to a gas chamber to make a sandwich out of their body. So I'm asking for your consistency. That is what I'm asking. I'm making the same context, all else equal, but instead of a pig, you have a human woman. Do you think that's justified?
Well, the thing is, like I said before, I don't care for human products. Yeah. So personally, it wouldn't benefit me. So I have no.
Wait, you're not. You're not being asked if it benefits you.
Morally right.
You're not. Yeah, I'm asking if you believe it to be morally acceptable as you do in the pig case. That's all you're being asked. Please just track the conversation.
It just feels to me that there must be some benefit. So they like
the benefit is the sandwich, the bacon sandwich.
Yeah,
you're getting wait. You're getting the benefit. You're getting the bacon sandwich out of it. Delicious, yummy bacon. Only the delicious, yummy bacon is of a human woman. Is it justified morally in your view?
Like it. I don't know. I guess.
Are you really going to bite the bullet instead of? Are you going to bite the bullet instead of just going vegan? Is this what's going to happen? Are you going to say, yeah, no, it is justified to gas the human woman to make a bacon sandwich out of her?
I wouldn't do it, but I would say like.
Wait, my impatience is growing. Please just track the conversation. I'm not asking if you would do it. I'm not asking any of these questions. I'm asking if it would be justified in your view. Please answer the question. This shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be hard when someone asks you if it is justified in your view to gas a human woman for a bacon sandwich. There shouldn't be fillers like her,
But you're extremely restricting the case, and you're not really allowing me. I am
making the case because when I asked you about the bacon sandwich from a pig, you very quickly said yes, that's justified. Very quickly, I have given you the context. The only thing, all else equal, human woman.
The thing is, if we don't kill that grandmother.
Wait, there's no grandma. Wait, there is no grandma in this context. Wait. My patience is just so thin right now. I'm asking all else equal. There's no elderly woman here. All you've been given, everything the same. Instead of the pig being sent to the gas chamber, it is a human woman. Is it justified in your view?
She's not necessarily old.
Yeah, is it justified in your view?
Well, any age of a woman
yes
that
or no?
died, and I'm answering now.
Give yes or no. Is it justified?
Yes.
It's justified to send a human woman to the gas chamber so you can have a f***ing bacon sandwich.
Well, I don't want that bacon sandwich.
Wade,
but
you're not. Oh my god, the brain rot is real. You're not being asked if. Oh, would it be nice? Would it be good? Would I do it? Would it be justified? You have said yes. Are you signing off on that?
Well, I'm trying to justify my justification, but you're just giving me yes or no answer.
This helps find a justification. It was not, you didn't go, oh, you're doing this, asking me yes or no questions when I asked about the pig. You were fine doing that. I'm putting it in the human context. Now we have a problem. But you have said it is justified in your view. I just want to confirm. Do you think it would be...
why it's justified.
Yeah, go on, please.
If you die, you get eaten by bacteria. Right?
Wait.
It's not about...
It's not about dying. It's about being sent to a gas chamber so someone can make a bacon sandwich out of you. Is that justified?
So let's say that woman was hit by a car and her body's going to rot away.
Stop inserting bullshit. You're not being asked.
Gas chamber, not car.
Pigs aren't hit by cars and then sent to gas chambers to finish them off. They're sent to the slaughterhouse on trucks en masse. Over 80% of pigs are sent to the gas chamber. I am asking you if in the human context that would be justified, and you have told me yes. Why am I annoyed? Because I'm a human woman as well. And it worries me that people, instead of going vegan, they would like to say, oh yeah, no, it would be justified in my view to make a bacon sandwich out of you and send you to the gas chamber. Focus on it.
Wait, if I can add, I think you're desperately looking for context in which it would be justified to send a human woman into a gas chamber, and that context would be different from what you were presented. Please, equalize the context between a pig and a human woman, because that's what we are asking for. So right now, pigs are sent to gas chambers for the mere pleasure, the mouth pleasure of human beings. And this is the context that Vegan Gaze is asking for. If you're going to add now, well, if a woman is old and would be dying and would, if we die anyways, it's going to be blah, 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 blah. No, equal context. Pigs are sent to slaughter at 6 months old into gas chambers in order for people to have mouth pleasure. Would it be justified to do the same to a young woman? Let's say she's, 21.
Have you been to a pig farm?
Yes. Wait, now answer the question. I've literally been to a pig farm. I filmed at a pig farm. You can go onto my Instagram and see footage from what I filmed. Now answer the question that VPM just posed to you. Would it be justified to do the same to a young woman?
The way that you're questioning is making it very hard.
Do you know? I'll explain why it's hard.
A certain cliff and then say jump or fly, and I can understand.
Wait, I'll explain why it's difficult. Do you know what? No, wait. Yeah, wait,
I'm
listen.
Not really getting to it.
Yeah, wait, listen. Okay, why it's difficult is because this happened to me as well. I flipped and flopped around trying to find a justification to carry on with my behavior. But then I realized when I put it into a context where I'm trying to be consistent, where I'm trying to have a logical framework, which you need to have, otherwise everything just collapses in on itself. I realized I was making justifications. I would have to do what you're doing right now. This is why it's difficult, because you don't want to sit there and say, oh yeah, I'd happily send a human woman to a gas chamber so I could have a bacon sandwich, and I would think that's right. I wouldn't necessarily do it, but in my worldview, that would be justified. That's why it's difficult.
Yeah. Well, you're not really giving me a chance to elaborate on why I say that.
Can I just explain why I'm not giving you a chance? Because every single time I've asked you a question, you've gone on to irrelevantly waffle. So it's just a bit frustrating because then you go somewhere else. So I just want to be clear, all right? We can wrap this up because unfortunately I think you'd just rather dig your heels in and commit bullet biting instead of just changing your behavior. even though you said it's like morally equivalent in your view. So just to be clear, because I want to make sure your worldview is very clear. Do you think it's justified, as VPM asked you and as I asked you, to kill a woman, send her to the gas chamber because someone wants a bacon sandwich, and that would be justified?
I don't feel like you are interested in actually
what?
in finding another devil, like Israeli, Palestine, man, woman, rich, poor, black, white.
Wait,
I'm asking.
For a second.
I'm asking you a direct question.
Joe, you just found another devil to hate. So congratulations.
You don't know my feelings towards people, I'm afraid, Wade. I've asked you a direct question. I'm not trying to make a devil. I am trying to understand your worldview. That is why I'm asking you questions. And you've just said this is going. Listen, Wade.
Wait, I'm muting you for a second that you can actually listen this time.
It's very important that you understand that I'm trying to make it very clear what it is you believe, because this is going to be distributed on the internet and you are going to be saying, I think it's justified to kill a human woman for a bacon sandwich. Now, I just want to be clear, is that actually what you believe? Or are you just trying to make a defense for eating animals?
You're unmuted. No, you're unmuted. You can answer. But can please answer the fucking question, actually.
I believe cycle of life and death is inevitable. We are all bound to it.
Wait, I have to cut you off again because you're not answering the question. Do you believe...
I'm getting to it.
No, I'm not asking for the preempt. I'm not asking for the preamble. I am asking a direct question. Before, when I asked you if you had your headphones on, you quickly said no. Now I'm asking you very clearly, do you think it's justified to kill a woman and send her to the gas chamber so you can make a bacon sandwich from her body parts? Yes or no? I just want it clear. This shouldn't be hard.
Either one that I answer will not be within context, and it's a very complicated question. And
it's
you don't
not
really
complicated.
No, the context is the same as for pigs. So what the hell are you talking about? And you answered also really, really quickly about pigs. So I don't understand why all of a sudden you're fussy about context.
Yeah.
The context, as I said, is the same as sending pigs to a slaughterhouse.
So is it justified in the human context, yes or no? And do remember, you were like, oh, have you ever been on a pig farm? And the implication there was, you know what happens. So you know exactly what happens, all else equal, except the pig is a human. Is it now justified in your view?
I can't answer that.
You've already answered it and you said, yes, it is justified. I was just really hoping you would just like give up the gig and say no. But unfortunately, you would like to commit to this worldview. You've already said yes. And we know it to be the case that you believe yes, because you have said that it's morally equivalent. And you believe in the pig context, it's absolutely justified. So, of course, if it's morally equivalent, it would follow that you think it's justified in the human context. I was just really hoping you'd be a fucking human being for a second and just give up the gig. But if that's what you want to sign off on, that's fine, Wade. We can be done here, unless you just want to just give up the defense and just go vegan.
Well, let me just say this. Please just give me two or three sentences. I think God was trying to be romantic by getting life to eat itself. The fact that all life must sacrifice itself unto itself. And not all of us understand the fucked up logic of God.
But we sure as understand the logic of you right now, Wade. It's truly baffling that it took you so long to answer this question, and you ended up saying, yes, it's okay to send a woman to a gas chamber for a sandwich. I think God has nothing to do with
if
this.
you
If
want
God,
to
I think
oversimplify
I'm
my
talking.
opinion like that,
I'm talking.
VPM, sorry, just to cut you off. God did. He supplied the world with infinite copium. Okay.
I was actually talking, and I don't think God has anything to do with this, because God said, "Thou shalt not kill," in all religions, in all major religions. And yeah, so I think this is just pure you, and making this about God is highly disingenuous.
you eat plants, don't you? Surely you must eat something.
Sure, I eat plants and I take supplements.
Do those plants not die when you eat them?
Well, they're not sentient, so I don't care.
To me, they're part of life. They're just as part of
Well,
life.
that's
as
great.
animals or
This is
humans.
further. This
I can
further
take
justifies.
your morality and extend it to plants.
Yeah, this
They
further
also
justifies.
sacrifice their
This further.
future, so
Wait,
you could.
I've just muted you again. This further justifies you killing, sending a woman into a slaughterhouse or into a gas chamber for your pleasure. And this actually is a suicidal position, because this justifies sending you into a gas chamber as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Wade, can I just ask a quick question?
No, you guys are oversimplifying it. Like this
Hey,
is
Wade,
like kind of.
It is
investment
this
to me.
simple. It
Wade,
is
can
this
I ask
simple.
a question?
Go on.
Sure.
Yeah. So you have two. Let's just hypothetically say you're in a room, and on one side of the room there is a flower in a pot, and on the other side of the room there is a human woman. Which one is better to do? Cut the rose in half with the scissors, or cut the woman's head off? Or are those two things equal in your mind?
They're both living.
Mm-hmm.
It was like three choices: cut the rose, cut the woman's head off, or they're equal.
Mm,
Which one would you do if you had to do one of those three choices? Kill them both, cut the rose, or cut off the woman's head? If you had to choose one of those three things.
like that, like these kind of what do you call it? As scenarios that guys make
I
up.
would
Like
cut the
reality is
rose.
not like
I would
this.
do that. What would you do?
Reality is never this restricted. That's what makes reality reality.
It is that
that
restricted,
can
because you
always
could go
have it.
vegan today and stop gassing animals to death for your taste pleasure. It is like that. There's two possible worlds from this day forward. Wade is vegan, Wade is non-vegan. One world, you gas pigs to death for fun, for taste pleasure. The other world, you don't. So it is actually that simple.
It's kind of crazy that you can't answer that. It would be better to cut a rose in half.
I would cut the rose in half if I had those three choices in front of me. What would you do, Elle?
Oh, I'd cut the rose. You know, any other.
What would you do, Wade? The three of us answered. What would you do in that room?
I don't feel it's a fair question, dude.
You didn't have a problem when I asked you if it was okay to kill an elderly woman. You didn't go, oh, well, there's,
It's not a fair
I wasn't
question,
entertaining
though.
that until I realized how much.
What's not fair about it? Is it logically impossible? What's wrong with the question? Like, present to me the issue with the question.
Plants are primary producers, right?
It's a fucking question. You can cut the rose in half, cut the woman's head off, or cut both of their heads off. Which one do you do, Wade?
So if I say we're dancing sunlight, what does that mean?
It means you're not answering the question. Yeah.
That's not an answer to the question.
It means you're not answering. So answer the question.
I'm trying to answer the question. Plants absorb the sun's energy.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm trying to answer.
Oh, you answered the question. You answered the question.
Again, yeah.
Yes, you
I
said
realize
yes.
you just want yes and no answers. but I'm trying to elaborate on the question to help you understand my worldview.
Yeah,
You
can
didn't
you
need
answer
to-
first and then
No,
elaborate?
I don't feel is enough.
Wade, you didn't need to elaborate when Joe asked you if you can hear him. You didn't need to say, "Oh, well, what do you mean by hear? Like, what does that mean to you?" You didn't need to do that. You just answered plainly. So Joe's going to ask the question one more time, and then I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of done. This obfuscation is just painful.
Okay, yeah, here's the question one more time. You are in a room. The only way you can exit, you're locked in there. There's like a guy with a gun, and he will let you leave the room. You're like imprisoned. You have to do one of three things. Cut a rose in half, cut a woman's head off, or cut both of their heads off. And then you can leave the room. What do you do?
I'll take a bullet to the head.
I mean, I think that represents the level of like dodging and dishonesty Wade's willing to engage in when it comes to the vegan question. Like, instead of just acknowledging that his moral worldview compels him to go vegan, he just, rather than cutting a rose, the stem off it, he would rather take a bullet. Yeah, I mean, that's symbolic. You know, we were talking about symbols earlier. I think that's symbolic of the bullet biting that's happened here. So thank you, Wade. But I don't think you're wanting to have a genuine conversation. You just can't answer yes or no questions, and you'd rather take a bullet than cut the stem off a rose. Would you rather take a bullet than walk over a field?
I mean, so many grass blades are going to be killed once you walk over a field.
Yeah, so are you just going to like, you're going to go, "Oh, shoot me now so I don't do this"? Is that what you're going to do?
Damage is inevitable, but it should be mitigated.
Oh, Jesus
Damage
Christ.
is
Thank you
inevitable,
for coming.
therefore I will gas a woman to death.
Yeah, therefore
Right.
I can't tell you if grape is wrong.
Yeah,
Damage is inevitable, though.
Therefore, slitting a woman's throat is equivalent to cutting a rose, and I can't pick, so just shoot me now.
Damage is inevitable, though. Punches a dog.
Wade, this is
All right.
painful.
No,
Thank you, Wade. Thank you.
You're taking what I say to an extreme.
No, I'm taking what you literally say. We
the
tried
other
so.
side
to gas pigs.
like
Yeah.
a bubble
Extreme
boy,
way.
right?
I literally took
Avoiding
Wade, I took the time to clarify your position, even though you already like accepted and signed off on it. I literally tried to get you to say something else so you didn't sound extreme. Alas, you decided to bite the bullet, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm done. Are you done, guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the rose cutting woman head off, he would rather just die instead of cutting a rose. Is
kind of weird.
Very
Kinda
weird.
Very strange.
And by his view, if it's weird, like you just shouldn't do it.
Well done with your yes/no questions. You got me to look like a weirdo.
Well I mean that is
ting,
weird.
ting, 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 ting. Very good. Well done.
If you want
Wade,
enjoy your fucking life of like gassing people to death
for
fun.
bacon sandwiches, yummy.
Yeah, Wade, you'd rather die instead of cutting a rose in half, but yet you send with your dollar pigs into gas chambers. So really, really weird stuff, right? You would spare a rose and kill yourself rather than going plant-based and just like not killing pigs in gas chambers. It's really weird.
But you wouldn't spare.
And by
It's
the
not
way,
about the rose or the women. It's about my freedom of choice.
Sure.
It's just
so all this time you also answered. You didn't answer actual moral. You didn't give us your actual moral answer. You just whistled out. Perfect. I appreciate it.
Moral answer on what?
Which one is moral? To cut a rose in half, to cut a woman in half? Out of those two questions.
The thing is, I tell you, all life is special.
Yeah, can you answer the question? Which one is more moral, to cut a rose in half or to cut a woman in half?
How about a Mexican woman and a white woman? Which one should we cut?
Yeah, how about which one is more moral, to cut a rose in half or to cut a woman in half?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You can't say that it's more moral when you have like the choice, when you have to choose. that it's more moral to cut a rose in half. You can't say that. So it's really, really fucking weird. And yet you send pigs into slaughterhouses, though saying that pigs and human beings, so women, are morally the same, right? So really weird.
And just to be clear, we have given you every chance. I've been desperately trying. They've been desperately trying to get you to answer differently, but you just won't even tell us whether or not it's more moral to cut a rose or a woman. You won't tell us.
No.
Do you want to try?
Well, I feel like we did share some and not nothing, so that's at least something.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm actually unsure of whether or not you think it's more moral to cut a rose or to cut a woman. Which one would be more moral, or which one would be immoral? Would one be less moral than the other? Like, I'm not sure, Wade, and I'm a bit worried.
I see life as levels. The plant life is the a lower brick in the building of life than animal.
Are you answering that it's more moral to cut the rose?
I'm saying if all plant life on the planet had to disappear, we'd be screwed.
That's not what you're being asked.
That's not the question.
Do you
I know it's not the question, but it can be extrapolated to the question. You're basically saying who's more important, humans or plants?
No. That's not what's being... Wait, are you listening? This has actually been asked to you maybe 8 times. So what's being asked is what...
do I cut the rose or do I cut the woman, right?
Not even do
Wait, you're still continuing to add context where none was asked for you. The context that you need to answer was provided. In a vacuum, in a white room, there is a rose and there is a woman. Which one is more moral, to cut the rose or to cut the woman in half and make them dead, right? Just to make it really, really clear.
But I'm trying to explain to you why both of them are important to me.
We're not
Does
being...
that not
Wade,
matter?
this is why you get cut off, because you're not being asked what it is of importance to you. You're being asked which one is more moral. It's a completely different question. So please, can you answer the question that's actually been posed to you rather than going off on something that hasn't? Which one is more moral in your view?
You're making it very, like...
Holy shit, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. If you can't answer that, we tried, Wade. I think it's clear. We have tried to get you to answer and you just won't. Can we kick him now?
Yeah.
Wade, one more question before we ban you from the server. Just one more question. Like, for Valentine's Day, I got my wife a dozen roses. They were cut roses. Was I a monster for doing that?
No, life takes sacrifice.
So would you say it would have been better if...
For your wife. I hope you...
Okay, so also one more question. For Valentine's Day...
To be able to face those...
Wait, for Valentine's Day...
To be a better husband.
I know what you're doing.
For next year, 2026, for Valentine's Day, I'm going to find 12 women and cut them in half and give them to my wife for Valentine's Day. Is that equally as good, or is that worse?
Dude.
Whatever. I'm not going to entertain it.
That's crazy. That's crazy, mate. And by the way, Joe's wife wouldn't die without the 12 roses, so life doesn't require sacrifice. And this wasn't the question. So thank you very much for coming. I will really appreciate you playing the game.
Thank you.
Of showing us just how crazy some people are.
Ding dong.
I appreciate it. Would you like to stay in the server? Would you like to stay in the server, Wade, or should we kick you? Which one would you prefer?
I don't feel like I have animosity towards you guys. Maybe we might talk again sometime if you feel the same to some extent.
Yeah, I would like to talk again maybe in 6 months and see if you still think it's justified to send me to a gas chamber so someone could have me as a sandwich. I'd like to see where we're at with that.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
Just to be clear, you're not a troll. Like, you're being genuine.
I'm trying to be genuine, but the way that I talk, we clearly have some friction. Maybe the way that I try and convey is not the way that the same as you guys.
It's
So
not the
maybe...
way that you convey. It's not like the way. It's the fabric of the things that you're saying and the conclusions they come to. If you tell people, I don't know whether or not it's justified to send you to the slaughterhouse to make a sandwich of you, it's gonna rub them probably not the right way. If you can't answer these simple questions, I can't tell you whether or not it would be fine to slit your throat versus a flower. Yeah, they're gonna feel a certain kind of way.
Wait, I've got a last question, and it's not like a hypothetical or anything like that. If we, it's like really real. If we gave you like I don't know, like a book or an article to read about like morality or something, is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, I'll read a bit if you want to share some resources.
Okay. Joe, is that something that you can like extract real quick, or I'm not sure. Okay, well, I'm gonna disconnect you from this.
Wait, it's in the side chat.
Yeah, okay.
It's a PDF. If you want to download that, you're free to read that. And just DM any of us and let us know what you think. It'll take you like maybe 30 minutes to read.
Yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions as well, Wade. Even though you have pissed me off with this nonsense, I'm happy to answer any of these questions. I'm just being fully honest.
My intention was not to piss you off, but to have a honest conversation.
Well, I'm glad you've been honest with me. I'm sad. I feel deep sorrow that you cannot tell me whether or not these things are like bad. So I hope we can recollect and and change that. But yeah, let us know.